Okay, for the next section, we've been given something that's written recursively, but before we get any further into it, I need to correct a typo. This number right here always represents the term that we're dealing with, and when we have an arithmetic or geometric sequence, we can't have a zeroth term. We can have a first, second, third, fourth. We can use natural numbers, but we can't use zero. So my apologies, that should not be a zero. Oops, made the board crooked. Instead, it should be a 1. There, is that better? We'll do that. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so we've been given the first term, and we need to decide if it's arithmetic or geometric. So it is arithmetic if we are adding. It's geometric if we are multiplying. Now, I've thrown a couple other things in here that are very similar. If it's arithmetic, we can also be subtracting, which is the same as adding a negative. If it's geometric, we could be dividing. For example, if we were dividing by 2, it's the same as multiplying by a half. Very similar. So, we've been given the first term, and each term, any term we want, is 3 plus the term that comes before it. This means the term before it. So, the previous term plus 3 gives us whatever. Well, I said plus, that must be arithmetic. So we have that one decided. The fifth term, this shouldn't be hard at all. We know the first one, negative 12. Any term we want, we take 3 and add to the previous term. So 3 plus negative 12, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. There we go. There's the fifth term. Now we're going to skip the next question and come down to it later come back to it later because we need to find this first. We don't have to, but it's going to come in really handy. We have to find something anyway, so let's go ahead and do it. The explicit formula is going to be based on this equation right here. Any term we want is the first term plus the term we want minus 1, the number of the term we want minus 1 times d. Okay, we're not going to fill in a number for n. N is going to stay as an n, but we do know this and we do know this. We know the first term is negative 12 because they said so. Well, once we fix the typo, we said so. And then we have n minus 1, and we know the common difference is 3. Keep in mind if we were subtracting every time, then it would be a negative number, but we have 3. We're going to distribute the 3 to both of those, so we have negative 12. 3 times n, so 3n. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Let's bring this over here. Oh no, let's just write it the way it should be written. Any term we want is negative 15. Got that from adding those two like terms together, plus 3n. Okay? All right, let's go backwards and find the sum of the first 24 terms. It's going to be based on this formula. The sum of every how many terms we want. We want the first 24. And it's going to be n divided by 2, a1 plus a sub n. N is 24. I probably should have put a 24 right there, but we'll fix it in a second. Okay. So the sum of the first 24 terms, that's what this means, is equal to, well, 24 divided by 2. That'll give us a 12 here in a second. And then a1 is negative 12 plus, oh goodness, we don't know what that is. That's all right, that's fine, because we got everything we need right here. This formula is going to give us the term we want. For example, if we had this first, we could have found this one very easily. Notice if we plug in a 5, this is the first term, this is the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. Notice if we were to plug in a 5 right there, we'd get 0. Plug in a 4 right there, we'd get negative 3. If we plug in a 24 right there, we'll figure out what goes in this formula right here. So let's do it. The 24th term is negative 15 plus 3 times 24. There we go. Negative 15 plus 3 times 24, that would be 72 minus 15. 57. Okay. 57. All right, let's not use a calculator on this. This one should be pretty easy. Add first. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Oh, keep in mind we took that. It goes in right there. See, there it was right there. Okay, so 24 divided by 2 is 12. Negative 12 plus 57 is 45. Okay, yeah. For the sake of time, we'll pull out a calculator on this one. 12 times 45, 540. There we go.